Hello, good evening and welcome to East Meets West Class 52 Railtour on the East Coast Mainline. This stream will be starting at 20:30 by the station clock on your screens in approximately 8 minutes. Please have your tea and light refreshments at the ready.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Mind the gap.
Good evening, hello and welcome. This is your 4-minute warning. 4-minute warning for the Class 52 Railtour departure. Please have your drinks, light refreshments and tea and biscuits with the manager at the ready.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is prohibited at all stations and on all train services. This includes e-cigarettes.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another live stream. If this does happen to be the first video or live stream you've seen by me, then my name's Richard, and I'm a mainline freight train driver and former passenger train driver based in the southeast of England. Before we jump into the video, and as always, I've got to tell you that all the views and opinions expressed within are solely my own and may not reflect those of any companies I may be employed by or associated with. That's the formal stuff out the way. Who have we got in? Typical Nathan Train, Scottish Numpty, Ted Reed, Pig and Bob. We also have YouTube Train Sim royalty. We have, round of applause please, Laserjet. Hello and welcome. Who else we got? Locomotive Guy, Connor Eaton, Martin, GJ, Robert Lilly, Locomotive Guy, Orangutan in Bed. Okay, this was a suggestion by John Ward, the Class 52. I've had this in my collection for quite a while, and I don't think we've driven it even once on a live stream. Now, John did want it on the Western, to be fair, Western on the Western, but me being me, I thought we'd go east meets west. I've spent the day learning the Great Western Main Line. I've been out route learning today between Paddington and Reading, so didn't want to do that route, didn't fancy that. I thought we'd jump on the East Coast Main Line. So without further ado, let's press the button and jump in. We are going to be having all of our usual features tonight, Locomotive Location, Livery, and we're going to be jumping in and out of the Discord server as we go along. So we're going to do a Class 52 Railtour service from Peterborough up to Doncaster. We're going to do this using the free roam mode. And we're going to kind of loop ourselves a few times, hold up some Azumas, because everyone loves delaying Azumas. And we'll see how we get on. Right, okay, we're going to timetable mode. Full timetable. We're going to spawn on foot at Peterborough. And 10 AM seems like a pretty good time to do it. We'll keep dynamic weather and all as is. William, hello. Laserjet, hi Deborah. Happy to be watching your content so far. Thank you very much, my friend. Very kind of you. Scottish Numpty, not yet. Right, we are loading. I have created a custom formation for this. Right, here we are at Peterborough. Let me know, guys, if you need the game audio up or down as we go along. We'll wait until we get on the train and then see what happens. So, let's head over to the other platform. We could run across the track, but we do like to promote good habits here on the Dead Rail YouTube channel. That is until we spad or overshoot a station or something like that happens. And then good habits go out the window. Right. This platform here looks like as good as any. I assume we can go north from this platform. Let's get our train spored in. Hey, Nick. Good evening. Hello. Typical Nathan. Richard, are you looking forward to the next roadmap? Yeah, looking forward to finding out what new UK routes are coming, because I have no idea what new UK routes are coming. No, that's the wrong button. I have no idea what future routes they might be working on. Right, let's make of that what you will. Okay, I have created... Where has my train gone? No, this is not happening. I created this in Scenario Editor earlier on and I was driving it. And it all worked absolutely fine. We're going to have to make the train up at this rate. Okay, why is my train not saved? That is most annoying. Okay, well, it'll be a good demonstration of the... Yep, it's definitely not there. 52 blue. Did I save it as Western? No, I didn't. Okay. We're going to have to create the train as well. This wasn't supposed to happen because I'd done this earlier and saved it and everything was good. So, let's go into... Hopefully this won't crash. We are going to use the formation designer to put our train together, the one that we want to drive. So, Creators Club, formation designer. There you go, 52 tour, it's there. So, why wasn't it showing in-game? That is really peculiar. Click on 52 and then... Oh, LaserJet, you're right. You are... I think you are completely right. Can you tell I don't use Formation Designer and the tools within the games very much? Right, let's give that another go. Come back tomorrow, we'll do it properly. On foot, Peterborough, we'll keep everything as was. Right. Pretend that didn't happen. Hello and welcome back. Doopy-doopy-doopy-doo. Loading, loading, loading. Yeah, see, everyone's telling... Connor's saying, will it show under the 52? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will. Right, let's promote good habits and walk over the stairs here at Peterborough. I was in Peterborough last week. Headquarters of Team Blue. We were talking about being tired. 156 Andrew, the Shortbread Express. Hello and welcome. Okie dokie, let's head up towards the front of the platform. Fantastic. We've got well-trained children in the house. Thank you very much, Joshua. Tea time. Right, okay, let's try this again. Spawn. 52. Custom foot. Do you know what? That deserves one of those. It didn't work. Right, this is going really well. And now we're on the track. Okay, let's get this thing spawned in. So we have got the 52 with some lovely Mark II coaches. We've got first class ones and standard class. Absolutely beautiful. They need the West Coast Railways branding on them. And down the back we've got some flying money pit kettle thing just to make it look authentic. But never mind, never mind. Right. There she is, the Class 52 Western. This is from the Legends of the Great Western pack that you can buy. Let's get in. Let's get it fired up. Let's remember how to do this. Right, we have got safety systems because we like playing with those turned on. AWS Isolate on and cab change handle. We've got some lights down here. Train classification on. That marker light's red ones. We don't have that on. So this train doesn't have a headlight, which was typical for trains of the time. So all you've got on the front is your marker lights. And I thought you could change the destination displays here, but I've done some research and you can't put numbers or anything up. If someone does know how to do that, do tell me. But from my research, you can't do it, unfortunately. We do have instrument lights down here somewhere as well, which will turn on. Instrument lights on. There we go. Right, key in. Engine only. Straight air brake full on. And we'll recharge the driver's brake pipe. Pale Brigade, Dad Rail, I've worked 2 days on a railway alignment for sidings projects in Norway. Horizontal, vertical and starting on 3D model. Done and saved. Nice. Right, okay. We are going to stop at all stations up to Doncaster to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's click on our train and click on set path. First station is going to be Grantham. We want to try and, I think we want to try and route via the slow line. So we'll have to do this one station at a time, unfortunately. Otherwise the game gets a little bit confused with what we want to do. So let's find Grantham. It's quite a way up. And we'll go into this kind of loopy platform here. Then we can allow some Azumas services to go past us. So let's set that up. Where is that going to want to take us? That's given us position 4, which I think is putting us out on the fast. Yeah, it is putting us out on the fast. So what we can do, if we want to stay on the slow lines, click on the train, click on Add Go Via Waypoint. Hopefully this is going to work. Then we'll go about halfway up and click. This is not a valid location. Oh, okay, that's interesting. This is not a valid location. Normally it lets me do that. I'm not sure what's gone on there. Okay, we'll give that one more go. I would really like a way that you can create these pathways. You can set them up, your custom formations and everything else. I'd like a system where you can actually get it all set up and then save it. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just go up the fast. We'll delay all the Azumas because who doesn't like delaying an Azuma? Connor, yeah, I expect we could have done that, but the go via seem to be a bit funky sometimes. The trouble is with the free roam mode, it likes sending you wrong roads and doing various other bits and bobs. Okay. We've got the signal, we've got a position 4 route indicator. Let's put her into forward. That one will do nicely. Release the straight air brake. A little bit of power. And we'll go for the outside view for the departure. Let me know if you need the game audio up or down. And off she goes with those beautiful Mark IIs. And on the back we've got our support coach. Couldn't find one of those in West Coast livery, unfortunately. The brake van Mark 1 with a flying money pit. And we absolutely can turn the volume up a little bit if we need to. Cross train spotting, frame rates dropping a bit. Oh, my internet's playing. Just lately my internet has been terrible. I have made the call. I am having fibre put in. So this is not going to be a continuous issue. We are going to get to the bottom of this. Right, let's turn that game audio up a little bit. By my mind, that should be good. Let me know, guys. Let me know. Orangutan in bed. Got any biscuits for that tea, Richard? No, because orangutan in bed, I am on a change of lifestyle / healthy living / diet type thing at the moment. In our Discord server, invitation down in the description below, we do have a Fat Fighters Club that we started, a little support group for dieting. And so far, last week, I managed to lose. Have I got a drum roll button on here? Last week, I managed to lose. No, I haven't. I've got a rim shot. I managed to lose 2 kilograms. So yeah, no biscuits for me. Davrat, it's the frame rate of the game. Your face cam frame rate remained. I've been getting solid 40, 45 in the game. It looks alright my end, Connor. Maybe something with the capturing. Game audio a tad loud, says W4LT. Not a problem, we'll whack that down a little bit more. I have to find a bit of a balance on these noisy trains. Rightio! Nice container train over on the right hand side there. The GB Rail Freight headquarters is over here on the right hand side. It's a shame they don't have that in game. GBRF branding would be fantastic. I'd like to see more freight brands in game. So I think the only ones we've got are DB and DB EWS, which is pretty much the same thing. And I think we've got DRS in game. The GBRF Freightliner would be really, really nice additions to have in there. Okay, shall we play a game?
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Let's do a bit of Locomotive Livery Location. If you haven't seen this game before, don't worry, you'll soon get the hang of it. Post your numbers in the chat between 1 and 36, and we shall play. Hey, Artie, good evening. How are we doing? Andrew Lonsbury, I am dieting, but I am working out. I'm in the process for being a deputy sheriff. Nice one. So I've been working out. I let myself go the last few years. I've let myself go ever since I started on the railway. I was quite a lot lighter when I started on the railway, shall we say. Okie dokie, the way this works, guys, is I pick the third number that comes up on my screen, which in this case happens to be Walter Sinclair with number 18.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So I'm going to give you box number 18 on the middle right hand side there. You've got 10 seconds to give me the locomotive livery and location of what you see underneath. And today's picture has been sent in by Nick Fleming, so thank you very, very much, Nick, for that. Can you get the location from that one picture alone? Let me know in the chat what you are thinking. Daniel Dubbox Gamer, I am walking to college and not taking the bus. Little changes like that, Daniel, can really make a big difference. They absolutely can. Scottish, yeah, we will now jump into the Discord server and have a little look, see what you guys have been posting. Oh, Gareth, look at that quality model. And someone has been bowled by a 166. That should be tea and biscuits for the manager. And if you want to post anything in the Discord, as usual, guys, live stream pictures page, you'll find an invitation link in the description below. Leo Lowe says Putney, Connor Eaton, it's a station with a massive curve. GJ says Royal Train. Artie says I think I actually know the location. Cross Train Spotting, a Mark II coach. Orangutan in bed says, well, it's in the world, you're not wrong. Ah, the weather's turning. See if we get some half decent flyby shots before it gets too awful. Hey Martin Sullivan, welcome to Dabra, only subscribe, great to have you here. The flying money pit in its rightful place at the back of the train there. Okay, so we're only allowed to do 75 on this, which is a little bit annoying. Turn on safety system. Oh, not that points really matter because we're playing in free roam, but we'll do it for the sake of playing with safety systems on. Fun to see the money pit as a support logo for the diesel. Yeah, the story behind that is the Scotsman towed it into King's Cross, and now the Western's pulling it up the other way. Cross train spotting, I think the Deltic should be added to East Coast Mainline route. Now Heritage Diesels are on my mind. The Deltic would be a really nice addition. I think that would be very welcome in game. It would suit the East Coast route absolutely perfectly. Typical Nathan says LSL 47 at Derby on the Locomotive Location livery. Martin Sullivan, I just subscribed, just settled in on my sofa in front of the telly. This is great. Excellent, Martin. On the big screen. Hello. And there's our DSD firing off. Right, we are 22 miles to Grantham. So East Coast Mainline is not a route I play particularly often in game. It's it's a route. Oh, the level crossing barriers in the up position there. That's I did see that correctly, didn't I? Yeah, level crossing barriers in the up position. So that, in reality, would get one of these. That would be big red button on the radio. Emergency call to the signaller. Definitely don't want that to be happening. I was answering someone's comment and I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah, no, I was saying I don't often play the East Coast Mainline. It's a route you just kind of jump in the Azuma, bomb up and down, and it's kind of not really my cup of tea. The 4 stations on it, I find it a little bit boring and a little bit featureless, if I'm being honest. I kind of like routes where it's a bit more commuter intensive and there's a bit more going on. So, but it's not a bad route by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not one that I've given much love or attention to since it's been released. Which maybe I should. Maybe we should do an Azuma run, jump in an Azuma and go bombing up and down. Connor, you are completely right. For the East Coast Mainline, we need a Class 91 plus DVT set and a Delta add-on. I'm definitely here for that, Connor. Even better still would be the GNER White Rose sets, the Eurostar sets. I think we need those. Knifed by a kangaroo, can you please explain a SPAD? Okay, knifed by a kangaroo, so a SPAD is a signal passed at danger, which basically means that the driver has gone past a red signal. So there's numerous categories of SPAD. I don't know all of them, I'll be completely honest. So the main ones that we refer to are Category A and Category B SPADs. A Category A SPAD is effectively where the signalling system was working normally, and for whatever reason the driver's gone past the red signal, so the driver's received the correct indications on approach to signal. A Category B SPAD is where the signal has been replaced by the signaller or the signalling system has failed. There is a Category C and a Category D. I think there might even be a Category E, but the two main ones we refer to, if it's the driver's fault, it's Category A. If it's the signalling system's fault, it's Category B. That's kind of the simplified way of explaining it. If you had a SPAD, your train's going to get stopped either by the TPWS safety system, it could become derailed on catch points depending on where you are, or if there's no TPWS and there's no catch points, you could run into the back of another train. All opinions expressed are my own. Obviously that's something you definitely don't want to happen. If you do have a SPAD, it's likely going to be tea and biscuits. Well, it's definitely going to be tea and biscuits with the manager. The railway is really good at dealing with things in an education way, so we tend to we like to learn from our incidents. They say it's good to learn from your mistakes, but it's better to learn from others. So by doing an investigation, learning from the incident, you can then share that information with others, and hopefully others don't fall into the same trap. Normally, if you have a SPAD, it's not going to be a disciplinary procedure. It is going to be a fact-finding. You might get something put in place. You'll get like they call a personal development plan. So they might say, like, for 2 or 3 years, you've got to do X, Y, and Z in the cab. How can we develop you as a driver? How can we ensure it doesn't happen again? If you're constantly having operational incidents, then they're definitely going to start looking at your safety of the line record, looking at your ability to do the job, so that they might go down the route of, is this the right job for you? But certainly after, one SPAD or one operational incident, it's going to be about education and, why did it happen? What was the underlying cause? Was there, was the signal poorly sighted? Was your route knowledge up to scratch? Were you distracted? If so, why were you distracted? So many factors are actually, there's a real deep dive into why it happened. Connor Eaton, as Connor said, that SPAD means lots of forms to fill in. Yeah, both for the driver and the signaller and the train operator as well. Scottish Numpty, thank you very much. Category C, signal replaced in an emergency. However, the train was going too fast to stop at it. Category D, the train was running away and couldn't stop at the signal. There we go. With some very knowledgeable people in our chat today. Tony Wilson, evening drive. Now I'd love to be powering up Stoybank in the cab of a Deltic. I think there's a good consensus tonight that everybody would like a Deltic. Richard, what happens if a driver goes through his or her bag or their bag while driving? Nothing. If you're running on green signals, basically if you're running on green signals, the cab and the time is your own. If you're going to make a cup of tea, if you've got a flask, make your cup of tea. If you're going to eat your sandwiches, eat your sandwiches. If you need to go through your bag and get something, go through your bag and get it. It's not going to be an issue. However, if you're running on yellow signals, red signals, you're coming into stations, if you're carrying out, your attention level needs to be a bit higher, then you need to be focused on what you're doing. So pick your moments. Don't go rummaging through your bag as you're approaching the buffer stops at King's Cross. That's definitely not a good thing to do. If you're running up here on green signals, then, absolutely go for it. Knock yourself out. Mike Allen, are SPADs a common occurrence? I did have the statistics of how many there were. So the majority of SPADs, Mike, low-speed SPADs in depots, is stop balls and shunt signals being passed at danger. Mainline SPADs are... I wouldn't say they were common. If you look at number of SPADs per passenger journeys, it is very low. In fact, there'll be someone in the chat that can look that up and get the statistics on that. It is very low. Thanks to safety systems such as TPWS and signalling, the actual design of the signalling systems and stuff like that, the consequences of a SPAD are normally mitigated against. So the safety systems are designed to stop you. You can go. They won't necessarily stop you passing a red signal, but they'll be designed to stop you before you reach a conflict zone or before you reach a fouling point. So if there's a train stopped in the signalling section ahead of you and you went past that red signal, the safety system would be designed, the signalling system would be designed to stop you before you reach the train that's in the section ahead of you. Likewise, if you're approaching a junction, safety systems would be designed to make sure the train stops before the fouling point on the junction. Which is why you see in some cases you'll have a signal right on a junction. The signal before the junction will be held at red to slow the train down. As you approach that signal, it will change to 1 yellow and the junction signal will be held at red. So you get sort of things like that. It's called double blocking on the signalling system. I know I really made a pig of explaining that. But you'll have 2 signals held at red instead of 1, which would come out the fog, which essentially forces the driver to slow down where you've got limited overlap. Likewise at junctions, if you're approaching a red signal, the points will be set away from the conflicting move. So if you've sort of got, I don't know, if you've got a junction where one track goes straight on and another track's sort of going to the right, both tracks would be set so that there's not conflicting moves. I've made a right pigs here of explaining that, but hopefully you got the general gist of what I was saying. Google it, says cross train spotting. Samuel Smith, good evening, how are we doing? Class 52. Flashing greens would be authorising us for 140 back in the day. Don't think there's much chance of getting 140 out of this Western. It is looking nice though. Orangutan in bed, I prefer the orange bag. The reason as drivers we have the orange bag is because the bag blocks a large amount of your high-vis vest. So if you've got high-vis vest on or safety clothing, then you put a big backpack on, that blocks a lot of the back of the vest, which is why you have the orange bags, the orange reflective bags. Martin, hi Richard, I was just wondering what kind of freight do you normally carry on a regular basis? It can be anything, Martin, so intermodal, so container wagons, you don't really know what's in the container wagons, you just know you've got container wagons on the train. Aviation fuel, petroleum, chemicals, stone. We get special loads sometimes, like we're currently delivering tunnel segments for the HS2 tunnels, which is a special load. Sometimes you're doing car transporters. We have train loads of water that come through from France that we take up to Daventry and other places. It is varied, very varied. Yeah, orangutan in bed. I don't think there's any particular rule as to whether they have the orange or the grey, but the orange is definitely better from a safety perspective. Smudgy Cat, flashing signals show a diverging move at a junction. If you've got flashing yellows, you are correct, Smudgy Cat. Flashing yellows would tell you are taking the highest speed crossover at the next junction. However, flashing greens were installed on this section of the East Coast Main Line to allow 140 mile an hour running. The flashing greens are still there and they still work, but 140 mile an hour running was never rolled out. The UK rule is anything above 125 you need in-cab signalling. John Ward, 52 rated at 90 miles an hour max. However, John, yeah, that's a good point. I'm just thinking about that. The maximum train speed is dictated by the lowest speed vehicle in the formation, and I've got a Mark 1 in my formation. I'm wondering what Mark 1s are rated for. And I've got the Flying Money Pit on the back, which I think would be rated for 75, although it does sometimes go faster. to be fair, it is struggling a little bit to get up here. Leo Low, yeah, you will know if there are dangerous goods in the containers because you'll have a dangerous goods form with like the UN numbers and stuff on it. You won't actually know what the product is. You'll just know that there's one component of that product is potentially dangerous goods. Knifed by a kangaroo. Interesting question. Do you think that train sim games are improving to the realistic side of things? I think graphically they're getting a lot better. I think in terms of gameplay, it's an interesting one because as enjoyable as they are, realistic, it's... Yeah, I mean, sort of in terms of realism, I'd like to see the safety system simulated a little bit better. I guess I'd like to see announcements and stuff. I think that would really help with realisms. Out of course events would be a big one. So having trackside staff, randomly appearing trackside staff where you've got to sound your horn, having temporary and emergency speed restrictions appearing randomly. And I think my biggest bugbear on train sim is you don't get enough yellow signals. You drive along in real life, you do not get green after green after green. You're always catching something up, following something, regulating your speed. So I think that's the sort of having those dynamic and random events. Like we've got the dynamic for changeable weather, but having changeable line side events, I think would make a huge difference to the realism. Trains of Dorset. What would happen if a train ran faster than what it was rated for, but not over the overall speed limit for the section of line? So when you've got a train comprised of locomotive stock and passenger wagons, you'll have something called a TOPS list, which is a train list, and that'll give you your maximum speed on there. So if you were exceeding the maximum speed on the TOPS list, you're effectively exceeding the maximum safe working speed of that train. So it would tea and biscuits with the manager. GJ, Wikipedia states Mark 1 is 90 or 100, but I do have that Flying Scotsman on the back, which is obviously only rated for 75. Right, 8.4 miles to Grantham. I reckon we can press the button.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Martin Sullivan, hello and welcome. We've done Goblin when it released. We haven't really been back to it since, but it's definitely something we can go back to. It's a nice route. But there are some videos on the channel, Martin, of that, if you want to go back, but we can certainly do that in a future live stream. Connor, random GSMR broadcasts about everything would be good. Would be a good bug, feature. King ET, I applied for trainee mainline driver and got invited to complete an online assessment, which I completed tonight and watched your Become a Train Driver video. Certainly helps, so thanks. No worries, Kingy, and best of luck to you. Okay, here we go. Locomotive Location Livery as our Class 52 struggles up the bank. Pig and Bob, you are the third number on my screen with 23.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So here we go, box number 23. On the right hand side in the middle there. 10 seconds, Locomotive Livery. Location if you can. What are you thinking? What is it? Where is it? Richard, if you offer a chance to drive a steam train, which one would you pick? Do you know what? To be honest with you, if I was going to drive a steam engine, I think I'd drive something small, like a Terrier or something like that. I quite like the little tank engines. I probably don't really have a preference as to what steam engine I'd want to drive. I think it'd just be really nice to drive a steam engine. Trains of Dorset, ScotRail 47, not sure where. Smudgy Cat Class 47, ScotRail somewhere. With some sort of marked coaches. ScotRail Class 47, Carstairs says 156 Andrew. Gareth Kemp 84, hello, says pass. Laserjet 899 overshoots, 47 in Intercity ScotRail hauling the Statesman. Astro Penguin, Tunbridge Wells because of the curve. Really, really wild guess. I don't like the horn on this.
I wonder how many Azumas we've got behind us right now. We'll see how many go past us at Grantham. Connor, I'm calling you now. We can do that whenever. Is anybody going up to Model World Live at the NEC at the weekend? With the Model Railway project happening in the background, I am looking forward to that. Smudgy Cat, not Cheltenham Spa, is it? It could be, could be. Scottish Lumpties, Scott Round 47, Earth. Jack HSC Productions has got Scott Round 47, Windsor. Interesting, Scott Round 47 at Windsor. Weird lighting effects going on here. So the loco we're driving, I believe, is a Train Sim World 2 loco, so the lighting isn't up to the same standards as Train Sim World 4, and it certainly does show in a few places. Right, let's start to bring that power back as we're approaching 75. We are descending down towards Grantham. RAF Spotter, hello! How are we doing? We keep a little bit of power in, although we're on a downhill. One of the things that surprised me was steam engines. So when you drive a diesel train or an electric train, when you shut off power and coast, they just coast. You know, it's like rolling, it's freewheeling. I've only ever driven a steam engine for a short distance on the Romney Hive and Dymchurch Railway, so a little steam engine. And the one thing that surprised me a lot about it is when you shut off power, the train doesn't coast, because you've got so much resistance of all the drive gear and the rods and the pistons that the train still slows down even when you shut off power. And I think that's what's happening here. So even though I'm going downhill, I'm shutting off, because obviously the Westerns are diesel hydraulic as well, so you've got all of the kind of hydraulic stuff still going on, the chains and belts and pulleys, and you've got the flying money pit on the back. So I think that's why, even though I'm slowing down, it's still losing speed. Even though I'm downhill and I shut off, it's still losing speed. So we're keeping a bit of power in. Yeah, kind of rolling resistance definitely is mental with them. Right, 2.4 miles to Grantham. Mumrow was getting the cats in for the night. RF Spotter, I'm good. I saw 44,871 at Didcot and chased it to Reading on Sunday. Nice one. Right, 2 yellows. Throttle off. So this is signalled for 125 miles an hour, so our signals are going to be pretty far apart. Mimi, Simba. So with that in mind, we're not going to get the brake in too early on this. 156 Andrew says, hi, Mumrail. Hi. We'll start bringing it down a little bit now. We've got vacuum and air on here. The whole train is braked in air, which is good because I am terrible on vacuum brakes. And we'll start bringing that speed down a little bit now. Bearing in mind we've got passenger coaches and not freight, so we want to give the passengers a comfortable ride. I think that signal's probably a lot closer than what I think it is on the HUD. I think I should probably get some brakes in. Yeah, this is definitely a pretty bad approach. There's the AWS magnet. We shouldn't be doing any more than 20 over that, depending on your company's driving policy. Normally passengers 20. We're going to get down for that. This is a terrible way to approach a red signal. I thought that was further away. This is the disadvantage of not having route knowledge. And going into Grantham, I think we're going to want the position 1 route indicator, assuming there's something in the platform at the moment. We'll just stop at this signal, train boy, and then we'll do that. There we go. Position 1, 2 yellows. Red is at the end of the platform at Grantham. more smoke than the Flying Scotsman. Okay, whilst we're doing the slow approach to Grantham, let's jump over to the Discord server. Pig and Bob, 47 GBRF, beautiful bit of kit. Train Boy, Thunderbirds are go. I remember watching Thunderbirds as a kid. Great stuff. Right, it's 25 and then 15 going in, so... probably want to think about getting some brake in there. I thought it was 15 as we come through that second. It is there, it's just changed now. Connor, you should get trained on 52, so I don't think I've got any hope of that, Connor. I mean, if you can, you know, if you can push for it, I'll definitely do it. Do a bit of publicity, that sort of thing. Philly Patty 15. Really good point. Why don't British trains use track brake? The answer to that is, I genuinely don't know why we don't use track brakes. So if you're not aware of what track brakes are, guys, so the braking system on the majority of trains in the UK are going to be disc or tread. So effectively, or rheostatic, effectively you're slowing down the wheel on the train. You're putting pressure, take out dynamic and electronic braking on it, but you're putting pressure on the wheel of the train in order to slow it down. You're creating friction. A track brake is effectively a massive block that you lower down onto the railhead. So instead of having that sort of tiny area of contact on the wheels, suddenly you've got this massive area. I think trams use them, and they do work very, very well. They do stop you very quickly, and they're not sort of prone to low adhesion and stuff like that. So there's definitely advantages to using them, but I don't know why we don't in the UK. Joshua, hello, how are you doing? I'm good, thank you. Right, we are red ahead. We need to get all the way in here, otherwise the flying money pit will be off the end of the platform. And then all the spotters will not be very happy with us. Great, the train guy, how was cadets? The spotters would literally be walking off the end of the platform to photograph that. Rightio, looks like there's an Azuma coming in on the other platform. But whilst we're waiting for that... Hey, Sharktails, good evening. Whilst we're waiting for that, let's set up our next bit of route. So, I did do this run earlier, so we're going to head up to Newark. Which I want to say is up here somewhere. That's down a bit further. Yeah, because that's Newark Flat Crossing there, isn't it? Where are we? We're down here. Okay. I've gone too far up. That's Newark. Okay, so we're going to head to Newark. We're putting the destination as the platform over here so we can clear the main line to allow some services to come past us. It's given me the road out already. Is it not going to let that Azuma go past? Oh, I bet that went past while we were in the map mode, didn't it? Oh, how annoying. That's mildly frustrating. I wanted to see the Azuma come past. Ah, there's another one there. We'll let that one go past and then we'll set the road up. So let's cancel that pathway. Revert the signal back to danger. If the signaller wants to revert a signal back to danger in real life, they do have to phone you up and tell you they're going to do it. They can't just put it back to danger unless it's an emergency situation. So what you do as a train driver, if you know you're going to be stopped somewhere for a long time because you've got a failure and the signaler's pulled off the signal, you'll phone up the signaller and just say, oh, I've got a problem with my train, I'm going to be stopped here for a few minutes, do you want to replace the signal to danger? Then they'll put it back to danger, which will allow them to route other trains. There's also, when a signaller reverts a signal to danger, there's also what's called a timeout feature on it. So when the signal's been reverted to danger, they won't be able to set any other routes for a certain amount of time. It's normally, I think it's normally like 2 minutes, depending on sort of line speeds and stuff. But yeah, if the signaller puts a signal back to danger, they've got to wait 2 minutes before they can pull off another route. That's so if there's an approaching train. If you're sort of just coming up to the signal and you can't stop in time, they can't put your one back to red, then pull the green on the other line immediately. Right, is that Azuma stopping? Do you know what, Mike? I completely agree with that, and on the mini-map as well. I think you had it on Train Sim Classic. Having station names on the map is what Mike was saying there. I completely agree. Leo Lowe, no, so the Class 52 we're driving wouldn't be allowed to go on the main line in reality because it's not fitted with TPWS or headlights or anything. So this is taken from the Legends of the Great Western pack. So, yeah, it's we're fudging it a little bit. Right, he's going to let that Azuma go first, surely. Right, why is that stopped? Has that already got the signal out? Yes. What? Is that a signal there? No. Ah, the Azuma's still on a red. We'll let the Azuma clear and then we'll set our road out up to Newark. Check on the destination screen, make sure we're not going to be waiting ages. Oh, it doesn't go till 10:42. Next stop, Doncaster. Oh, well, I do apologise. In that case, we're not waiting, we're going. We won't set the path all the way up to Newark, though. There is a loop somewhere up here, which we can go into, so... If we set the destination to this loop here, Claypole down passenger loop. So we'll go into the loop and then hopefully we'll get some Azumas come past us. It doesn't seem to want to give us the signal at the moment. Ah, yeah, because this is gonna... Nobody saw that, okay? I didn't just pick a train up and get rid of it. That didn't happen. Right. Unfortunately, the free roam mode is not particularly intelligent, so we do have to manipulate it a little bit to get it to do what we want sometimes. And you just know the driver on that Azuma is absolutely fuming and wondering what is going on. Oh, look at that clag. Yeah, that Azuma driver would be absolutely furious. Stu, good evening. Martin, no worries. Thank you very much for joining us. Orangutan, spad means override and go faster. Depends how much you value your job, but why not? Yeah, that Azuma driver's definitely absolutely fuming. It's his going home train as well. You know it, RT. It's going to be their going home train. Okay, so we have got 175 of you lovely people in tonight. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button, consider subscribing. That genuinely would be awesome. Right, let's get it up to 25. We're all good, Stu. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope everything's okay, my friend. Rightio, as we are coming out of the loop here at Grantham and heading up to Claypole, shall we play a game?
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
So the line to the left goes off to somewhere else. That's how good my route knowledge is. Joshua, it's been a fun but slow one. I've got to alight here as I've got to be up early in the morning and don't want to be a zombie. No worries, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Just holding that at 25 at the moment. And here we go on the numbers. Train spot from Somerset, you're the first. Finn, you are the second. And Mike Allen, you are the third with 23.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
We've already done 23 there, Mike, so we go to the next one, which is Rat the Lookout, number 16. Which I can't find on my box. There we go. What is it? Where is it? Tell me what you're thinking. Give you an extra long look there. I forgot to press the button. That's interesting. 2 yellows. Is Train Sim now going to play a funny game where it wants to route us on Bang Road or something like that? It does have a nasty habit of doing that at times. Yep, look. It's going to cross us over Bang Road. I absolutely hate it when it does that. I don't think we can amend the go via point while we are driving either. It really frustrates me that it does this. There we go, hopefully that's fixed it. Yeah, I don't know why it does that on free roam mode. Sometimes it just wants to put you on the wrong road. They call it Bang Road. Jack HST, you have got better route knowledge than me. Peas Cliff crossovers. Right, we are dawdling. We are driving like Richard May. Richard May. No, not... James May. What are we reckoning? Scottish number 47712 Scott Rail. Great Train Guy 47 at Windsor and Eton. Harrison Place says 47 Scott Rail. Pig and Bob says 47 Scott Rail. Artie says Artie knows where it is. Do you know where it is, Artie? Fishy Charles has gone Windsor and Eton. Typical Nathan, welcome back. Astro 47 Tunbridge Wells, really out of known. All guesses are good guesses. Richard May, yeah, wrong one. Your comment got... Nightbot is a little bit overzealous. Artie, we might need to look at... I don't know if you have access to it, but we might have to look at Nightbot. Or I can have a look at Nightbot. Dabrowell, Gut says that the routing algorithm is using some sort of shortest path calculation. It probably wanted to cross me over to get that Azuma past me. Is it signalled for bi-directional working? I mean, if it's signalled for bi-directional working, it's fine. I don't mind doing it because it's a realistic move. It could happen, but it does it in a lot of cases on routes that are not signalled for bi-directional working, and then you end up with all sorts of funny things going on. Laserjet overshoots. Look at that. I do like a kettle. Connor, yes, it is all bi-di. Ah, okay, so... Jack HST, nah, East Coast isn't bi-di. We have conflicting opinions. I was going to say, I can't see any bi-directional signalling. LazyJet 899 47712 Lady Diana Spencer in Intercity ScotRail livery at location. I don't know. Unless the game wants to implement again, we were talking about out-of-course events. Temporary block working would be a good one. Emergency special working. Having to pass signals at danger. Anything like that that adds that layer of... I mean, I think it's really hard to do because the way the timetable mode and the dispatcher system actually works is hard to implement. But I think it would be a really good idea. Potato Man 006 just applied for a train conductor from South Eastern, wondering what happens if finish up in London and no trains back until the next day. So Potato Man, it's the company's responsibility to get you back to your home depot within your time. So if you're on a, for example, I think the conductors on South Eastern do a maximum of 11 hours, I want to say. So if you're on an 11-hour shift, your 11-hour shift has got to finish back at your depot. They will book a taxi for you. The company will have a taxi account and they'll book a taxi on account to get you back if there's no trains. But your diagrams will typically be worked out so you always finish back at your home depot. Knife by Kangaroo, do you think the Train Sim 4 has enough functional buttons in the cab compared to real life? The thing is, with a lot of buttons in the cab, we are now speeding this, take the power off. A lot of buttons in the cab you don't really use all the time anyway, so it's kind of got the main ones. I mean, what extra functionality would you really want in here? There's a lot of systems that are not simulated, so what have we got in here that doesn't work? Sound works, rear facing horn works, I can't see what that one says on it. Engine start, engine stop. Low water level shorting switch, low water level shorting switch, cooling water temperature override button. I mean, you're kind of getting into the realms there where you need to have such an understanding of the locomotive to use it. I would like to see functional GSMR. I would like to see the TMS screens on some of the modern units a little bit more functional. So I think there is things they can do. But as for making everything in the cab functional, you then get onto like a pro level sim. And like it or not, you know, this is aimed at your kind of casual gaming market. I'm not the target clientele for this, and sort of neither are hardcore enthusiasts. So they've got to balance it to give it mass market appeal. If it didn't have mass market appeal, it wouldn't be profitable, and they wouldn't be able to make it. Potato Man, that is an expensive taxi from London to South Kent. Potato Man, you'd be surprised on what we spend taxi bills on the railway. It's mental. Yeah, I think I might be wrong, Potato Man, but I think the conductors on South Eastern do 11 hours. It might be 12 hours, but I think it's 11. Yeah, Connor, that's a good one, having the working indicator light. So, low fuel level, I don't think that's ever going to work. General alarm, engine stopped probably does work if we stop the engine. If I stop it though, I won't get it started again. But having some of the indications, random faults and failures, air bursts. Hey, I'm up for anything like that. And you can tell this is a Train Sim World 2 train because it's got the really dodgy, blurry artifacting on the wheels that just looks absolutely awful. Right, 2 yellows. Let's not make the same mistake as last time. Let's get the speed off. Potato Man, is that some nice that is some nice money. Is there a cap on hours per week? Sorry, your comment was hidden behind a little heart emoji on my screen. So yeah, under hidden regulations, Potato Man, the maximum hours you can work is 72 a week. However, you'll probably be contracted. I can't remember what the guards are on at the South Eastern Guards. You're going to be contracted for probably 35, 40 hours a week. Right, 1 yellow. We're expecting red on the next signal. When it comes off, we will require position 1 to go into the loop. Richard, you should stream Train Sim World 1 just to see what it looks like. I don't think I ever owned Train Sim World 1. I've got 2 on my computer. I can reinstall that and play it. But to be fair, the Train Sim World 2 routes on Train Sim World 4 still look like Train Sim World 2 routes, so... Right, we are red ahead. We have got miles to this signal. I was just worried about undercooking it like we did last time. So what we're experiencing now is what is known as approach control. So because the line speed is 125, so is it 125 or 115 at the moment? Right, because the line speed's high, the speed into the siding is 40 miles an hour. So if you used to come along here at say 125, get the route indicator into the sidings, you're not going to slow down to 40. You're going to go over those points still doing 100 and derail your train. So what we're experiencing now is what is known as approach controlled signalling. So basically the signalling system is forcing us to slow down. Even though there's nothing in front, by checking us down to a red signal, it's forcing us to slow down. And what will happen is on approach to this signal, it will most likely step up to 1 yellow with the position 1 junction indicator. However, as far as drivers are concerned, approach control signal doesn't exist. And what I mean by that is you should never expect a signal to change. Always treat a red as a red until it changes. Never ever think to yourself, oh yeah, I can approach this one a bit faster because it's going to change. People have had spads because of that. And you can start relying on past experiences. There are some signals that I've approached at red, you know, and every time I've approached it at red, it's changed. And you do, there we go. And you do end up luring yourself into a false sense of security because you've done it, you know, you've driven that route 100 times and 100 times that signal's changed on approach, and you begin to expect it's going to happen. But then the 101st time you come around there, you approach that signal expecting it to change and it doesn't change, and you're going a bit fast because you're running late, then you have a spad. So as far as we're concerned as drivers, a red's a red until it changes, and approach control signals are not a thing. Try telling that to Lumo.
Emotional damage.
Right, we are red ahead. The LNER that's right up our backside is going to be well happy. Shots fired. Now, I always say to my trainees in the cab, I can't tell you this signal is approach controlled because there isn't any such thing as approach control. But if there was such a thing as approach controlled signals, this is what it would look like. And we're 40 into the loop, and I think we're 25 out the other side here. And just knocking that throttle back. Although it's 40 going into the loop, we have got a red at the end of it. Again, one of the other things I think we really lack as you go across point work is the clickety-clack. Once we get the dynamic suspension in, I'm hoping we're going to get a bit more bouncing going across point work. All these little things are going to be really game-changing to the way the game looks. Oh, knifed by a kangaroo. Good question. In real life, that I've driven, it's probably Hastings to Brighton, because you sort of run along the coast down to Eastbourne and across the base of the South Downs. That's a really pretty route. In game, there are some stunning routes in game. I mean, Fife Circle, if you play it in the right lighting conditions, looks absolutely brilliant. Peak Forest as well is another route, because I don't like the traction on it. I don't like the steam traction. But Peak Forest is another route in game. It's a really, really stunning route. And I don't give that the love it deserves as well. Yeah, Connor, suspension is coming. It's a when, not an if. But you look at the way the 142 handles on Blackpool branches with the suspension implemented. It's a completely game-changing experience. And typically we want to aim to stop a coach length away from the signal. So we were talking about earlier the signalling system being designed in such a way to prevent, you know, you won't stop you going past the red signal, but it would stop an incident. What you're seeing ahead of you is incorrect. So we've got a green signal on the main line to come straight past. These points are set for us to go onto the main line. If we were to spad this signal, our route is onto the main line and into the path of this oncoming train. In reality, these points would be set to go straight on into the catch and derail us. So that is wrong. Right, one Azuma's gone past. Let's press remove path. And then we'll go set path. Hopefully it's not going to want to send us bang road. And straight into the sidings, straight into the platform at Newark Northgate. And we've got one yellow. We are on our way. Like I said, I really wish you could set these. I think, like Connor said, we can set the waypoints in advance. But the trouble is then it kind of sets the road all the way along, and I don't think it lets the traffic past you, and I kind of like pulling over and letting the traffic pass. It's quite realistic. It's what you'd expect to do. But I wish you could kind of set these up and then save them as scenarios. It's nice that we can do it in the free roam, but I just wish there was ways to save your creations and kind of, you know, be able to load them up at any point and export them. Because the trouble is with Scenario Planner, it doesn't import. You can create scenarios, but then you haven't got all the timetable traffic. You have to put the manual traffic on. But being able to create scenarios within the timetable would be brilliant. See, there's another thing that bugbears me sound-wise. That Azuma's just gone flying past. The noise of that in reality going past me, but you don't get that. You know, there's something slight there, but it's just not. It's not right. Right, 3.8 to Newark Northgate. That is about halfway along the route. Then we've got Retford, and I don't know this route at all. Is it just Retford then Doncaster? Or have we got? I want to say there's another station. Somebody tell me there's another station there somewhere. Finn, what train do you want to see added to the game? That's a really good question, Finn. I would like to see a Class 56. I think that would be nice. Or if we're talking modern tracks, a Class 68. In terms of multiple units, I would like to see a Voyager, potentially an East Midlands train, ones that we can use on the Midland Mainline routes, Meridian. Scottish, it's Retford, then Doncaster. Thank you. Can we check the Discord? I don't want to wait another hour. Talking of Voyagers, there is one right there. LNER hat and a Francis Bourgeois book. I've met Francis. I am featured in one of the TikToks. That's the wrong button. I'm not doing well with the buttons tonight. Too many. Night by Kangaroos. So when you need new uniform for work, say you get holes in the pants, etc., do the company pay for your new uniform, or do you have to pay for it? Where I work, we get a certain amount of trousers, etc. So if your uniform is part of your PPE, your personal protective equipment, so say it's like high-vis trousers or high-vis jackets, the company have to provide those, and they have to replace them when they become worn. If you've got like standard uniform like trousers and shirts, it's not PPE, it's just uniform. Again, the company normally pay for those. So with my company, we get an allowance. We're allowed so many per year or something. So yeah, it'll be down to the company to supply that. Wrong button count, 4. Stu, a bad workman, always blames his tools. Absolutely, Stu. Finn, I think the 67 DVT set Manchester Crew I would like to see. 67 would be pretty cool. There's lots of routes we could run that on. It's a pretty versatile machine. 125-mile-an-hour loco as well. Two yellows. Let's see if we can get a half-decent approach to the station here. And it's nice seeing the East Coast Main Line going a little bit slower, because on the Zuma you miss all the sort of finer details in the houses here and everything else. So it is nice to trundle along here. Boeing 82, I have never had a medical emergency on my train as such, and what would you do? So if you've got a conductor on board, again, stuff like this is where conductors come in really useful. The conductor's going to call the emergency services and arrange for them to meet you at your next station stop. Your next station stop might not necessarily be the most convenient station, so you might sort of, your next station stop might be a little village station, and the station after might be a big town. So sometimes it might be better to get them to meet you at the big town station. It might be quicker. So someone's going to ask me the question, would you then not stop or would you go fast? I think that would be very much down to the driver's discretion. I think a lot of drivers would be reluctant to skip a station even if you had a medical emergency on board, because you've got to justify that and fill out the paperwork. And unfortunately the railways or a lot of the passenger companies are about performance and profit, not customer service. All opinions are my own, of course, but in my experience, as the driver, you're still going to be pulled up for that. Yeah, but someone was having a heart attack. I needed to get them to where they needed to be. Oh, yeah, but we had 4 passengers that wanted to get off at that station. Now we've got to pay them compensation. It's just kind of the mentality of the railway world these days. Peter G, Grand Central 180. Again, East Coast Main Line. It would fit on here lovely. Right, we are red ahead. Probably not a good time to go looking around the outside of the train. Quite a lot of cant or banking on the railway. It's known as cant on the line here. Right, there is our red. Getting some proper lurching on the coaches when I put the brakes in. It's the first red signal I'm managing to approach at a half-decent speed today. Finn, have you ever had to go across a level crossing with the barriers up? Yeah, I've done that, Finn. Controlled, though, so the road's been closed by the police or by the network around Mom. And you get a green flag authorising you to go across the crossing. Not an everyday occurrence, but it does happen. Knifed by a kangaroo, what is your go-to snack or meal during your breaks? Oh, if you'd asked me that a couple of weeks ago, I would have said fish and chips, kebabs, Wimpy Bar, whatever Connor's buying. But now I'm being good, so probably salad, and I get like some pre-packaged chicken breast and a salad or something like that. So I'm behaving myself at the moment. Artie, that's very good to hear. SWR would rather run a train fast to Waterloo with a medical emergency on board for several reasons. Easier access for paramedics to the platform and hospital right outside. We take a pragmatic view. Good to know. Yeah, no worries, Josh. No, Connor, that wasn't approach control. That was just the way, you know, it was a signaller pulling off the road at the last minute. Veluxian, hopefully I'm saying your name right. Hello and welcome. I found you during my trip down the rabbit hole with Japanese train sims. Of course, because we've done I think, is it JR Sim? We've done that on the channel a little while ago. As we approach Newark Northgate. How many Azumas are going to come past us? See, what we could do, we could arrange to have some like class 20s sitting in the sidings here, and then we could swap them out. You know, if you could kind of do what I said and sort of, you know, place everything down the way you want it with the free roam mode, and then save that. Chucking the passengers all over the place. Newark North Gate, platform 3, objective complete. Right, what have we got on the map? There's got to be an Azuma right behind us. There we go. And coming the other way. Right, let's try setting the pathway all the way through now and using waypoints. So if we set a path... Oh, crikey, look at the station complex up here. All the way to Doncaster. Stop as indicated. Was that not Doncaster? That... This is the problem with the game here, isn't it? That it doesn't actually give you kind of... And then if we go... Add go via waypoint, we'll just make sure it's routing us. Correctly. And then we won't have to do this again if we can get this to work as intended. Like I said, I am interested to see whether the signalling will stop us in the loop and then have stuff past us. We'll make sure it's not sending us bang road anywhere. We have got Retford as well. Seems like quite a long section, this next section of twin track. And only one loop to put us in. Is that the station there? I don't think it is it? There we go, that's the station. Right, so we should be alright. We'll just check the top end of that route again. Add go via waypoint. Make sure it's not doing anything funky with us. So we're going over into the platform there. We're staying on the left hand side, so that'd be the right road. All the way up. All the way up. Crikey, it's a long way. Yep, that looks like it's absolutely fine. That's gonna... That's gonna get us to where we need to go. Perfect. Absolutely lovely. Although I think the station might be... yeah, okay. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Right. We got a green. Go as indicated. Let's do an outside shot to pull away from. Right, we're in forward. Let's get some clag. Quite a beast of a loco, to be honest. The Mark II is definitely the little West Coast Railway branding. Mark B, good morning. Well, good evening here in the UK. Finn, what is your favourite train company? Oh, the one I work for, of course, Finn. Flying Money Pit dragging us around. Dragging the Flying Money Pit around. So we've got 120 of you lovely people watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button, consider subscribing, that would be absolutely brilliant. And we're 40 mile an hour out. Briefly 125 on this section of track, but you're never going to get that because you've got to wait till the back of the train is clear. And over Newark flat crossing. Oh, I'm terrible with this camera. Which is a really interesting bit of railway infrastructure. Should be much more clickety-clack as we go across it though. Right, open her up, give her the beans, let's get going. I completely agree, John, the 52 is a beast. It's a nice loco to drive. I can't believe I have this sitting in my collection for such a long time and haven't touched it. Right, shall we do this?
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Yeah, Colt, a 73 would be interesting. But the way you drive a Class 73 is very dependent on conductor rail gaps. And I don't know if conductor rail gaps have been modelled on the Southern Region routes. So without those, the actual driving experience to me wouldn't be that great. But yeah, it would be good to have in game. Okie dokie, Locomotive Location Livery, Train TV, you have got the first number. GJ, you've got the second. And Carl, you have got the third number with number 12.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So here we go, going to give you number 12. 10 seconds for that Locomotive Livery Location, if you can. Here we go. Any ideas on that location? As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. No, not in the comment section, in the live chat. So I uploaded a video a couple of days ago of lots and lots of drone shots of various different trains. Been taking the taking the drone up. I haven't flown the drone recently, but I had lots of footage just sitting on my hard drive. Quite nice drone shots, and I thought it's too nice not to share. So if you haven't seen that, do go and check that out after the stream. I find it absolutely amazing when you get a drone up and you're filming railways. They really look like model trains from up there. It's crazy. They just look like toys. It's interesting. Train TV, ScotRail Dibso. Great, the train guy. I like 70s. Connor, certainly is gaps on the South Eastern High Speed and Brighton, as you sometimes get the lights to go out, but I don't know if that's just around the point work. Astro Pengu, that's not Tunbridge Wells. Shark's House location, a train station. You're not wrong. I can confirm you're not wrong. Right, we are getting up a bit of speed now. We are certainly getting there. Certainly getting there. So great, the train guy. What's your opinion on the Class 70s? What would you do? Great, the train guy. What would you do with a Class 70?
Spot, drive or scrap?
Let me know. Oh, Mike, fantastic. So I'm hoping sometime this week to get another... It does come down to filming because my work schedule is a little bit all over the place this week. But I'm hoping to get a model railway update put out. Hoping to go up to Model World live at the NEC on Saturday. Hoping to go. Haven't 100% decided yet. So if I get to go up there, I'll vlog that. I'll look to do a live stream from the exhibition as well, because Pete Waterman's Making Tracks layout, the Final Frontier, over 200 foot of portable railway layout is going to be on show, which is going to be something worth seeing. And I was at the last Brighton Model World down in 2016, which is one of the first YouTube, I think it's the first video on the channel. So it'd be quite good to go to the first sort of new Model World, although it's being run by a different company. Any sort of modelling event like that, I'm really keen to support that. Right, we've got a route indicator. See, this signalling is bad because we've got a 40 coming up into the siding. See, that's where the signalling has just failed us, because this is what I was saying earlier. This is why you have approach control signals that don't exist, because now we're going to end up going across this set of points at 60 instead of 40, and we're definitely doing a Lumo. And then it's 25 coming out the other side, so that's why you would get checked down to a red, so that doesn't happen. The other alternatives you've got is you might have flashing yellow signals coming in. We spoke a little bit about those earlier, which would warn you you're going to turn off at a junction. You can have splitting distance signals, you could have stepped banners, you could have preliminary route indicators. So there's lots of different ways you could display to the driver. There's lots of different indications you can give to show that you're going to be taking a diverging route. Yeah, just as I thought, if we set the route all the way through, it doesn't hold us for any of the Azumas. It just keeps us going, which is a little bit annoying. We should have some dynamic signalling going on. John Ward, scrap. The 70 is so ugly, no style. GJ, class 70, scrap. Train TV, class 70, drive. Nick Fleming, Richard, how would you feel about your favourite loco being in Train Sim, the famed class 69? Do you know what? In Train Sim, they'd be absolutely fine. They're not bad locos to drive. They're just not very comfortable. So in Train Sim, they would be absolutely fine. Artie, shame I can't get myself a ticket to the show this weekend. Otherwise, I'd pop up on an Avanti to help out with streaming. Well, you say that, Artie, but I think I'm driving up. There might be a conversation to be had there. I'm not taking the train because it's too expensive. I know I'm a train driver and I'm saying the trains are too expensive. That's voice of the industry. Nick Fleming, Richard, have you got any info on GBRF's new bi-mode electrics? Well, actually, I know quite a lot about those. So, do you want me to spill the beans on them? So they're going to be known as the Class 99s, and they're going to be capable of pulling about 2024. Can't tell you much more than that, I'm afraid. I've always wanted to use the beat button. That's an exclusive. I could travel up by Avanti purely because you know Avanti is first. Yeah, you get to go on a Pendolino all the way to Brum. Oh no, the automated filter tripped up there and stopped most of that info. No, in all seriousness, all I sort of know is the information that's been put out publicly about them. I don't sort of know anything insider, if you like. I am trying to kind of persuade the powers that be to let me go to Valencia to have a little nosy at them in my official capacity as Union Health and Safety Rep. Artie, I am about to demonstrate that I'm a terrible person because I read your comment which says I quite like the Pendos, and obviously on glancing at the word Pendos very quickly on my screen it looked like something else, so I'm going to punish myself most severely for that. Hey Connor, I think you need to come to Valencia as well. I reckon it would be a, you know, a decent works do. Right, we are 26 miles to our destination. We've done the loop. We've got X amount of Azumas behind us. Nick Fleming. Artie, even if it is first, what's the point if Birmingham is the light at the end of the tunnel? Birmingham. It would be this one, wouldn't it? It'd be we do apologise, but due to unforeseen circumstances, no trains will be stopping at Birmingham.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Train TV, you dad rail question mark. If you ask a question, then I will more than happily answer it. If you've asked a question somewhere else and I haven't seen it, then I am just looking up through my chat. Get the Class 69, I love them. That's the last thing you said. Okay, let's do it again then. Class 69.
Spot, drive or scrap.
I'm not going to say scrap. I'm going to say spot. Gordon, do you know what? I'm probably a fan of the older stuff, to be fair. I was always into modern traction, but this is how it happens, isn't it? Everyone's into modern stuff of their era. Same with music and everything, you know. And then they kind of get stuck with that, and then they want the nostalgia of that. So, Pacers, Sprinters, I'd say like Electra Stars are kind of my generation of EMU. So all the new 700s and the 710s, and it's plastic, innit? Train TV, can you do a light loco at the end of the video? No, there won't be time on this one because we've been streaming for nearly 2 hours. So when we get up to Donny, that'll be game over on this one. Connor Eaton, spot us the colours. Yeah, that is the one thing that the 69s have got. They've got some decent liveries on them. I wasn't too keen on the Western Consort, the maroon one. And I saw it in the flesh down at Eastleigh the other day, and it actually looks really nice. Train TV, I love 69001 Mayflower. I have ordered. I've pre-ordered 69004 double O gauge backbone model. So. Dirty Donny. Class 69 spot, never seen one before. I've seen more than I care to remember. Are we wide open at this point? We are. We're going uphill. Brakes are fully released. Certainly struggling a little bit. Connor, I believe it was at Eastleigh pending maintenance. Nick Fleming, Richard, can we check the Discord, please? We absolutely can. Ah, there's that 4. I saw that 455 at Clapham Junction the other day. It does look smart. It really does. Thanks for posting that, Nick. It is a very nice looking train unit. Train. It's a train. And if you want to post anything in the Discord server or join our friendly community, you can do. You'll find an invitation link down in the description below. Astro, I'd spot a 69. Don't think I'm interested in freight locos at this time. Fair enough. Each to their own. These Mark IIs, I keep saying about these Mark IIs, they look really nice. So I've just treated myself to getting onto model railways again. I've just treated myself to 6 Acura scale Mark IIs in West Coast Railway livery without central door locking. And they look absolutely lovely, as do these ones. I think the Mark II is probably my favourite coach. LW Rail, I remember the first time a 69 came through Newcastle, it was 002 and 005. They were immaculate. They are, it's lovely to see that kind of, that shape of loco, that Class 56 shape of loco, out and about on the network. I'd rather it still had the 56 engine in it. And the 56 cab. I would rather it was still a 56. Connor Eaton, oh no, you have no central door locking in the game either. The ORR are coming for you.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Do you know, I'm just thinking maybe I shouldn't use that clip because I know that it ain't half what mum is kind of its time. Can I still use that clip? Is that acceptable? Right, we're on the downhill now. We are getting up to that 75. 20 miles to go until we reach Donny. Let's have a quick look at the map, see what we've got behind us. One Azuma. Oh, just the one at the moment. Trains of Somerset, do you ever get to drive the GBRF Railtours? No, so in order to drive Railtours, you need to be Class 1 competent. So obviously I was a passenger driver in the past, however I don't have my passenger competency anymore, so I would need to do it's not a hard competency to regain, but I don't have it. So because of the limited number of rail tours we do, you can't sort of just have everyone in the depot, because you have to maintain competency. So if you're trained on something, you have to do it every so often in order to maintain the competency, and because of the ultimately the limited number of rail tours we do, you can't just train a whole depot of like 40-50 people, because we don't do enough for people to maintain that competency. So with these sort of things, there's like a seniority element of it. So it tends to be the more senior drivers that get to do that sort of work. Unfortunately, because I would like to do it, but there we go. My time will come, I'm sure. Mark B says it's acceptable. John Moore says no problems with that clip. Trains to Dorset, controversial, but the Jeremy Clarkson's "Oh No, Anyway" is more iconic. I'll have to see if I can get that clip. Ashley Coles, hello, welcome. Nick Fleming, Richard, if you watch Railcam York in peak times, people really do look like ants. Recommend it for a good laugh. Hi Richard, do you think the Class 73s will go beyond their 60th birthday, 1965 to 1967? Amazing locomotives. T9 South, all I will say to that is, so I have the pleasure of driving those on or certainly throughout the season on a daily basis. As far as I am aware at the moment, they are still reliable locomotives, and again I do not speak for my company, this is just my opinion. as far as driven 100 miles, nice. As far as I am aware, there are currently no plans to replace them. But like I say, I do not speak for my company. That's just from what I've heard. Connor, I don't know if you know any more about that, if you can say anything more about that, but as far as I'm aware, they're going to be around for a while yet. Right, coming through Retford. Sounds like the AWS firing off every time I do that one. It starts worrying me. Connor can't see them going anywhere. There we go. The thing is, they're decent locomotives with a high level of redundancy and built by engineers, solid, and they do exactly what they say on the tin. That is ultimately, that's the bottom line of it. They just work. Simply put, they just work. Train boy, just for you. Oh, look at 52 on the back of an Annie's wagon. And there is the dreaded Class 69 on the right-hand side there on the weed-killing train. The dreaded Class. They do look smart. They are very, very smart-looking machines.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Right, we've got 15 miles to go, so let's get a couple more rounds of Locomotive Location livery in. I always have this nasty habit of leaving it right to the end and doing one after the other because I'm not very good at planning my time. I think the blue of the Loco and the do you call that maroon or burgundy wagons? Probably more burgundy than maroon. I don't know maroon. It's goes well together. Okay, first number GJ number 7, second number Nick Fleming with number 4, third number Connor B with number 6.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So here we go, guys. Give me your box number 6. 10 seconds to that Locomotive Livery Location, if you can. Oh, there's a big giveaway there. Let me know what your thoughts are. We've just had 2 yellows on the signal. So I'm just starting to slow down a little bit. Great, the train guy. When are you next driving? I'm driving on Wednesday and Thursday this week. Acton on Thursday and Willesden to Tunbridge on Tunbridge to Willesden on Wednesday. And tomorrow I am out and about route learning. Artie, what are you working tomorrow? I might manage to come and say hello during my route learning. I shall bring you a warm drink of some description. Right, that was 1 yellow. Let's get some brake in. Very easy to become distracted. We are red ahead. Are we being looped again at this point? I can't remember what we set up. Richard, just noticed what you're doing with my LLL number. How do you mean? Astro, Windsor and Eton, Riverside Class 47. RTI, I'm route learning Clapham Junction to Woking tomorrow, and as such, I'm flexible to move around. Right, red ahead. Told you it was easy to become distracted. RTI, I'll drop you a message. We'll see if we can find half an hour in a station buffet somewhere. Great, the train guy. Windsor and Eton, Riverside, Intercity ScotRail. That's the signalling system working as it should. Train TV, funny you should say that. I'm route learning down to Reading at the moment, so I'm actually going to be in Reading tomorrow. Right, into the loop. I can't remember what this one's called. We did have a green as well, which means we're going straight in and straight out again, which means it's pretty pointless. Train TV, I don't know what service I'm going to be on yet. I'm going to be going backwards and forwards. I'm not going to be driving though, I'm just going to be sitting there looking out the window. All these loops are pretty easy to learn. 40 in, 25 out. That's nice. We like it on the railway when there's consistency in speeds and stuff like that. It makes our job a lot easier. And then 25 out the other side, which I've completely failed to slow down for. I'm better in real life, I promise. There's the horn train TV. It sounds like an AWS going off. It's not the most pleasing of noises, I must say. There's no crew on the Scotsman. It does have a tail lamp though, which is good. Right, how many Azumas do we have behind us? One, going very slowly. Still only the one. That's quite surprising. I thought we would have a whole queue of them behind us at this point. Grape the Train Guy. Do you know what? I have never seen the Flying Money Pit. No. Northern Princess Productions, hello. What's Scotty's top speed tender first? I want to say 40 miles an hour or 45. But I could be wrong, Northern Princess Productions. Feel free to correct me. Mike Allen, good evening. Nick Fleming, Richard, you may know as I am clueless. The other day I saw a service through Ashford, Surrey around 1600 to 1800. It was a GBR of 47. I believe it had 3 people in the cab. Any ideas? Normally, Nick, it'll be a rail services train. So the 47s, if it's gone through Ashford, Surrey, will be heading down to Towton to pick up Class 710 or Eastleigh TMD or something like that. They're using them on those moves. Northern Principal, think of all the delay repays, all the delay repay claims that I am currently making.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
That's the one. Go! Think all the teas I have to make. Oh yeah, of course, Northern Prince Productions, because when it gets more than so late, you have to give away free drinks and stuff, don't you? Yeah. bet you've never been up the East Coast Mainline so slow before. Train TV, are you driving the 6 Golf 97 on Sunday? Train TV, I have no idea what I'm working on Sunday. So the way my rostering works, I will get my roster Thursday night, and until then I've got no idea what train I'm driving on Sunday. I think I've got a day off Sunday, and I say I've got no idea. I believe next week, although it is subject to change, I believe next week I'm going to be doing the 4 Yankee 19 Tunbridge to Southampton Gypsum service. Right, 8.5 miles, and we'll see if I've managed to successfully select the platform at Donny. You were literally here about 2.5 hours ago. Nice. I'd be honest, I thought this stream was going to take about an hour or so, and we've been at it for 2 hours. This route, when you're travelling along it not very fast, it's a long old drive. So we need to get to Donny because I need to go to bed. Because my alarm call this morning was at like 1:30 in the morning, so I'm having a bit of a later start tomorrow. I haven't got to get up till 6. Yeah, no worries, Nick. I'll look out for you at Ashford Station as I go past anyway. If you give me a wave, I'll toot my horn on the way back. I like, Nick, the 57s are nice. 57303, I've driven that one. It takes me an hour in a Speedy Boy. Good luck in a Western. Yeah, I might have underestimated the time this was going to take a little bit, but it's been fun. It's been fun. Let's do another one of those.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
So we've got 101 of you lovely people watching, which is a lovely round number. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button and consider subscribing. And post your numbers between 1 and 36 for today's Locomotive Livery Location. Stickman159, hello Debrau, you handsome devil. Oh, Stickman. What can I say? Have I missed much, and how was your week? You have missed Peterborough to just before Doncaster in the Western Class 52. My weekend was pretty good, thank you. How was yours? Okie dokie, here we go. We are third number on my screen, which happens to be Train TV. Nick Fleming was first, Connor B second, Train TV third, with number 11.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Here we go. Box number 11. 10 seconds, Locomotive Livery Location if you can. Does that help you? What is it? Where is it? Scottish Numpty, next station is Doncaster. No worries, Connor. Have a good day. And thanks for joining us. And drop me a message about playing Steam Trains. I'd be well up for that. Martin Treadgold, good question. Of all the closed disused lines RE Beachy, which line would you like to see reopened? Oh, that is a really good question. So, because it's local to me, being selfish, I would like to see the Lewis to Uckfield connection restored. But that is purely because it's local to me and I'm a little bit selfish. Yeah, Scottish Nut, we're getting there. 4.5 miles outside of Donny. Definitely sounds like an AWS horn. Yeah, Train TV, where's it going to and from? I think I'm actually rest day on Sunday. I think that's my day off, so. Astropengo, yeah, guessing 47 Windsor and Eton Riverside. I am now creasing with my first guess of Tunbridge Wells. Emily169 is messaging me on Steam, that's Northern Princess Productions, saying Train Sim Classic Stream 10. I know, so Northern Princess Productions does some amazing scenarios. We played a few on the channel, and I need to get around to reinstalling Train Sim Classic and all the requirements to get that up and running. Nick, well, the Heritage Line I volunteer on has a miniature Western. Doesn't get used as much for passenger service, but it's really nice to shutting around with every now and then. Nice. This is when I'm going to find out that I have not selected a platform at Donny. I don't know why we're slowing down yet. We're still 2.5 miles out. Let's keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Let's do this again. Last one.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
That train and bus guy, no worries. Great to have you here. We are just finishing up, I'm afraid, but good to have you all the same. Ah, that's more like it. Here we go. You're going down the middle. It looks that way. Whatever I've set the waypoint to, that's where we're going. Right, we are on 2 yellows, however. Astro, congratulations. Are moderators allowed to play? Of course they are. Astro, third number on my screen, number 15.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
It's box number 15, guys. This is your last round. 10 seconds for the Locomotive Livery and Location. Pele, thank you very much for joining us, and good night to you. Oh, that proper tanked my frame rate with that train going past. Right, 1 yellow, red ahead. Yeah, my frame rate has begun to completely and utterly tank now, so that's not the stream going bad. Train TV, Class 47, Windsor and Eton, Riverside, Ashley Penguin, not changing my guess, still a good one. Ashley Coles, Lady Diana Spencer. Once we get clear of this red, I want to see how many Azumas we've got behind us. Azuma! Not my red on the left there. Come on, come on. We are still red ahead, but it was a lot further away than I was expecting it to be. there is our red signal. Let's see which way it's going to route us. There's a 66 looking a bit weird on the right hand side there. Got the countdown markers on approach to the signal. Red ahead, red ahead, red ahead. It will change up just as we stop because that is what happens in real life all the time. There we go. Not quite. Oh, he's a beast of a loco. As we arrive at Doncaster. Martin, how do diesels and steam combos communicate how much power to apply? Is there some synchronised communication? The steam loco is literally dead in traffic. So the steam loco is doing nothing, it is just there. If you've got like a steamer with a diesel on the back of it pushing it, we're actually going to be foul of the platform here, aren't we? If you've got a diesel, there's an EMT Intercity over in the depot. Is that Roberts Road depot over on the left? Yeah, sorry, if you've got a steamer with a diesel on the back, normally both drivers will have two-way radios. So the brakes would be controlled from the front locomotive, however the driver in the back locomotive would be able to apply power, and that just be done through radio communication. Yeah, we are definitely going to be hanging out the back by a country mile. Signal has put us in the wrong way here. We'll go all the way up to the signal, try and get as far in as we can. Oh well, never mind. That's a good vantage point. We've parked it there on purpose so everyone can get pictures of the flying money pit. That's a good place to park for pictures, that is. But there we go. That is it. Game over. That was a most enjoyable stream. It's the first time we've driven the 52, and I should give the East Coast Mainline a little bit more love. I think we'll do that in another stream. Get some Azumas on it, and we'll just have a blast up there in an Azuma. Might even have a blast up there in a 700 just for the fun of it at some point as well, or an HST. We should give it a little bit more love. No, that's Doncaster Works. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where Roberts Road is there. I know Roberts Road is near Doncaster somewhere. I don't. It's well and truly off my patch. Right.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So, do you know what? There was a couple of people that actually got this right after the first square, and I kind of sort of thought, I didn't read them out because I kind of thought to myself, there's no way you could have got the train from that. And it was like, you know, you've seen this picture somewhere else, because this picture was in the Discord server. I did delete it earlier on in case anyone was kind of wise enough to go and check. So, but yeah, well done to everybody who got this. I think after a couple of boxes, kind of everyone was there. RT, you absolutely had the location spot on, but I should hope so.
It's time.
Thank you very much.
To reveal today's Locomotive Livery Location.
That is indeed a Class 47 Lady Diana Spencer ScotRail livery, the old ScotRail livery. And that is Windsor and Eton Station. And I completely see where you were getting Tunbridge Wells from with the curved platforms and the wall and the bushes. Astro, you were, you know, very, very, very believable with the Tunbridge Wells there. Completely see where you got that one from. So there we go. John, no worries. Really enjoyed driving that. So thanks for suggesting it, John. And we will do it again sometime, and we'll get it on the Great Western as well. We can do that. We can, and we absolutely should. We should load up the Legends of the Great Westerns with the 101s on it, and with the other bits and bobs going on there as well. So there we go, guys. That is it. I am off to bed now because I've got a day of route learning tomorrow, which should be fun. Oh, it's only 11:05. It's not too bad. It's been a long stream, but it's been a good one. If you are still here, you must have enjoyed yourself. So if you haven't already, please do hit the like button. Consider subscribing. That would be absolutely awesome. Look out for Model Railway update. That will be coming soon. Train drivers rules coming soon. Ardingly to Acton Lane reception. My latest cab ride video. The second part of that, I am currently in production, making the little mini maps. Takes a long time to do it, but that will be out sometime next week with any luck. Discord server, you're more than welcome over there. You can join our very friendly and inclusive community, talk about trains, real life. Join our Fat Fighters group. I've lost 2 kilos. Hey, hold me to account on that if you see me eating a donut. RT Northern Princess Productions and Astro, thank you very much for moderating. Scottish Numpty, everyone else on the membership as well who's been in tonight. Ted, Pig and Bob. Your names have all disappeared off my screen, but thank you very much. And thank you to everyone else who's been in watching as well. So GJ Josh TR9, a great train guy. Train TV, Train and Bus Guy, Josh, Ashley Coles, Connor Eaton, and everybody else. Connor B just crops up down the bottom. I'm going to press that button there. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Like and subscribe, join the Discord, check out my socials. Have a good night. See you in the next one. Bye for now.